Hello and welcome back to The Brew Interviews, the only beer show with hosts that are the life and soul of the party. Well, it's more of a get-together. It's actually a funeral. I am Robbie, and joining me as always via the internet is my best friend Lauren. It is episode 97, and this week we have a special guest to help us during the holiday season. What's better way to ring in Thanksgiving than by watching the cinematic classic, Thanksgiving? This week on The Brew Interviews.
The Brew Interviews, coast to coast, brews, faves, and more with Lauren and Robbie.
This episode of The Brew Interviews is sponsored by AdamandEve.com, which you'll hear more about them later on in the show. For now, I would like to introduce our special guest for tonight. He has once been described as a sex symbol, and that symbol is a question mark. Welcome back to the show from WreckMyPodcast, Mr. Cam Molador.
Thank you. Clap for me. I am the Spanish upside down question mark, to be more specific.
I took French. I don't know.
Okay. Do they not have upside down question marks in France?
I don't think
I don't
think so. I think that's like specifically a Spanish thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I am that one.
I dig it.
So how you been, Cam?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I just last time I was on the show, well, we recorded and everything was super fucked up. But
accurate.
We threw that one away. But since I was on the show, like, I don't know, a year ago, I got a job in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm a college film professor now. And we watch really, really great things like Thanksgiving. And talk about it as a cinematic masterpiece. No, but for real, my girlfriend and I moved out here to Knoxville. It's awesome. Everything's so cheap. I'm on East Coast time.
Wonderful.
Like you guys now.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's just cold as shit. I don't understand what weather below 30 degrees is. My brain doesn't do it.
Did you own a heavy jacket before you moved there?
No. I went to work before I ordered a pea coat for myself. I went to work. Nice. Wearing just a regular thin zip up hoodie.
Oh no.
And bad idea.
And like my button up dress shirt. And like that's all I had. And I was so cold. And the only thing I had to keep me warm was my snowboarding gloves that were in my car. And so I looked like a total idiot. And you could totally peg me for someone that was not from here. I had no idea what was going on.
So now you're a professor in a pea coat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm such a stereotype.
So the title professor, that's just kind of as long as you work at a college teaching, you're automatically a professor, or is there anything else to that?
So, well, I do have my my MFA, which is a terminal degree. So it's the highest level of education I can get in the field. Basically teaching anything outside of high school, I can make people call me professor.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. But it's super official. Like my job title is assistant professor of film studies. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm the lead of the program. I develop the curriculum, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like the super professor.
But more importantly, you make your girlfriend call you professor in the bedroom, right?
Constantly.
I would also do that. So good on you.
Yeah. Yeah, except if I were to ever do that, she would hate it.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad
she would hate
thing.
it so much.
Not her hating it, but smacking. No. Never mind.
Yeah, smacking's fine.
Speaking of hating things, Lauren.
Oh, Robbie. Listen, I gave it a second. I know. I took a sip of it before the show just to like cleanse my palate, but I wish I hadn't because I didn't particularly care for the first sip of it. But I took another sip and it wasn't as bad, so we'll see how it turns out. I, in honor of Cam being on the show tonight, am drinking Trade Secrets from Pocock Brewing.
Yeah.
And RT Rogers Brewing, so I guess it's a collab. It's a peach tangerine tart smoothie beer.
Oh yeah, that's the worst one of the.
Thanks, fucking Jordan. Jesus. Yeah. All right, it's 6.3%.
Actually,
yeah, fuck you, Robbie. Yeah, but Jordan sent it, right?
Yeah, well,
probably.
I drank.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, it tastes like a tangerine smoothie, which is fine. It's kind of yeasty. Yeah. It's like more yeasty than I'm like used to, and not quite as sweet. But I really like the tartness of it. I like barely get the tangerine, but it's growing on me. It looks like orange juice. It kind of tastes like a tart orange juice. That's like
Which is the tangerine part, Lauren.
Well, I'm just saying, it has peach in it too, but I don't really get the peach. The peach is kind of like that, bad peach flavoring that like you get in things.
Yeah. The thing with Pocock though is that they never use artificial anything, so it just might have been in that can for way too long or something like that. But do you smell the peach like when you drink it, or is it more just doesn't
I don't really
exist?
smell anything. Like I get like just a very like small hint of like orange. I guess maybe a little bit of peach.
Yeah, I miss Pocock Brewing so much. It's my favorite thing. But there is a new brewery out here that is slowly creeping up and might overtake
What brewery?
it shortly. It's called Pretentious Beer Company, and it's a all female run.
Oh yes. Wait, Pretentious Beer Company. I have their glassware.
Yeah, dude. Pretentious glass.
Yes, I have a lot of their glassware.
Yeah, dude, they blow it all right out here. Like this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is that?
Yeah, it's like a mile away.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
For my birthday, my girlfriend got me a whiskey glass, like a tumbler from Pretentious Beer.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great brewery.
Yeah, I am definitely going to be messaging you.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were that close to you. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, so close. Yeah, it's literally like a 2-minute drive.
Nice. Yeah. Are you drinking their beer tonight?
No, I am drinking a beer that I picked up at the Kroger out here, but it's a local beer.
There goes that sponsor.
Yeah. This is from Crosstown Brewing Company from Memphis, Tennessee, and it's called the Siren. It's a blonde ale, and I picked the can because my girlfriend pointed at it, and it's got like this cool little like Iron Giant looking guy on it with all these UFOs. Like this is
dystopian future.
Yeah, it's such a cool can, and so I got
cool.
it, and it is a 5.2 ABV, and it's really, really light and crispy. But the finish is like super nice, like clover honey. Like it tastes like you just have a mouthful of honey at the end. So
I love blonde ales.
Yeah, it's delicious.
What about you, Robbie? What are you drinking?
In celebration of not only the holiday but the movie, I am drinking Thanksgiving 2020 from. Can you see that? I don't
Mayflower.
know if it's close enough, but from Mayflower Brewing in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It's really weird. I actually didn't know what style the beer was until just tonight when I looked at it, but it's an English-style old ale brewed with barley and rye malts aged on toasted American oak.
Oh, all right.
So I was kind of worried on how it would taste. So I was worried it was going to taste pretty rough because some of those beers with rye in them are just not good.
Right.
But it's decent. It's decent. And they're right. It's an English-style ale. It tastes kind of like a Newcastle, but way better quality, obviously.
Right,
yeah, I'm never a big fan of like English style beers or things with rye in them. So that beer sounds like my worst nightmare.
you wouldn't hate it actually.
No, well, I never really hate
none
beers, but
except the one you had.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just not.
Weren't those the words you used right before we started?
Yes, my initial sip was I hate this.
Yeah.
I don't hate any beer.
But I don't hate it now that I've been like drinking it. The first sip was just not pleasant.
So moving on to the main topic for tonight, I wanted to watch a movie that not only celebrated the holiday, but Cam's a huge film buff, obviously.
Yeah.
So he would want to watch something like this, and we watched Thanksgiving.
Yeah, timeless classic.
Timeless classic. I don't know if you had seen this beforehand, Cam, or were you a virgin like Lauren?
Oh no, I've seen this movie like 3 or 4 times.
Excellent, perfect. I saw this one not when it first came out because it came out in like 2008, but
right.
Like freshman year of college, so like 2009, I believe is when I first saw this movie.
Yeah,
and it's a very special movie. We'll say that
it is about as special as you can get.
It is. At least it was on purpose special, right? I mean,
yeah, it was on purpose special, but still, like it was on purpose special, but in the way that like Johnny Knoxville's The Ringer wasn't polite.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head. Lauren, what do you think? Did you enjoy every waking second of this beautiful masterpiece?
So, my one of my best friends, Nikki, actually recommended me to watch this movie, and then I brought it up to Robbie to watch. And about 5 minutes into this movie, I text both of them and said, I already want to gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon.
Oh, you didn't like the topless booby nun part?
No, that was
I feel
great.
Like that would be your favorite part.
Listen, my
nun?
first note was first shot is titties, gonna be a good movie. It air quote
yeah.
good.
To be fair, the first shot wasn't titties; it was
You're
tit.
right. It was
just
nip.
one.
Okay.
It was actually
Yeah.
nip, and then it was tit,
It
and
was
then
just
it was titties,
and then
Yeah.
it zoomed out beautifully into weird topless pilgrim.
yes, yeah. She's
What a better
actually
way
like
to
a
start a
porn.
movie,
So
then.
I also looked up on IMDb that porn star is actually has the most movies in her. Of anyone in
Well,
this
duh.
movie has like the longest list of movies that she's been in. Most of them are porns.
That's amazing. What a prolific career.
Right?
She probably already had the pilgrim costume.
And she's in the second one. Out of all the characters that are in this movie, she is also in the
The
second
recurring
movie.
characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it got better throughout the movie than the first 5
better.
minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Like it's just like
No, you do not.
no. Just
do
in
not
the
say
shut
that.
up. Just in the sense of like it's supposed to be bad. Like it's making
Yes,
fun of
yes.
itself essentially.
Yes, except this one had a lot less money. Had a budget of about $3,500.
Yeah, and it all went into the turkey.
The hand puppet plastic.
But actually, or just the salary for the porn star.
I was gonna say the porn star. It was directed by Jordan Downey. Don't know who that is. None of us should probably know who that is.
No.
He's the turkey.
Yeah, is he also the turkey?
I'm pretty
the
sure
voice of the turkey?
he's like the producer, the director, and the turkey.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're making your first movie, the best thing to do is to wear every single hat in the production because it's going to ensure that it's perfect.
Yes, yes, it is.
Perfect. That's the word.
Yeah.
For those of you not familiar with the movie at all, it is about a cursed turkey from the 1600s who comes back to life in modern day to cause murder and chaos among a group of 5 stereotypical college kids while throwing out turkey and Thanksgiving one-liners.
Yeah, and
While he
he's
murders.
very, very crass.
Very
The
crass.
turkey's the best
Yeah.
actor in this whole movie. That's
Oh, yeah.
That's so one thing I hated the voice of the turkey.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't match what it could have been.
No. Lauren, so this is the fun part with your guys' show right now. On our show for our Patreon content, we covered Thanksgiving.
I heard.
And yeah, and my my mic cut out, so my computer died. So I'm very happy that I get to talk about it with you guys.
oh good.
Yeah, but Krager's favorite actor in it was the turkey. So Lauren, you and Krager agree about something.
That makes total
Oh, shut
sense.
the fuck up. But come on, like of all of the acting in this movie, the turkey was the best.
I don't
The
know.
fucking
It's like
jock
dog
was
shit
boring.
cat
Okay,
shit.
I liked the like fat hillbilly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nerd. I think
The nerd annoyed
Yeah, no,
me
the
with
nerd
this,
was awful because he kept on doing
the
lip
fucking mouth
wiping.
wiping. That was so
Yeah, what is
obnoxious. And it never explained it. It was never like, oh, I'm like sweaty.
No, but it's like this
or
close-up
something.
shot of him being like, it's just so wrong.
It was very disturbing. It bothered
Yeah.
me a
So-
lot.
So believe it or not, this was shot in only 11 days.
No.
Oh, wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Is that impressive or sad? I don't
Yes.
really know.
I'm just impressed that it took more than 4. Because it means that they tried. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. I could make this movie in 3 or 4 days.
I mean, I didn't really take detailed notes on the scenes because it's so ridiculous. And the movie's
Yeah.
only an hour long, so
Yeah.
there's really not a whole lot to talk about. But, I mean, some of the stuff that I thought was stupid but funny. In the beginning where the wife takes a dump in the coffee pot.
Yes.
Divorces the husband.
And he's like, "Oh, it tastes like shit," and she's like, "Well, it's because I shit in it."
I want a divorce.
Yeah, I want a
Like, I
divorce.
guess that's a good way to go about doing it.
yeah.
A guy tries to have sex with the turkey.
He does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Ass, grass,
Cash,
or
grass, or
yep,
ass.
there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the turkey has sex with somebody.
Oh my god. Probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Oh yeah, it's great.
First off, how do you not like recognize that a person has been replaced with a turkey? Like
She
Yeah, I
does
don't know.
notice. It takes her a second.
after the turkey has already completed its turkey business.
And he says the best line in the movie. What is it, Lauren?
I don't remember.
You just got stuffed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But I love that he
Awful.
used a gravy flavored condom.
Yes.
Extra small gravy flavor.
Extra small gravy
Yes.
flavor.
My two questions on this are, well, first off, that condom was expired. From the date the movie was released. I zoomed in and checked. And also, why would the turkey need to use a condom if he was just going to kill her anyways?
That's the joke. Laura.
Okay.
They don't want to leave evidence.
I mean, he was going to kill her, but he didn't want any people diseases.
Okay, yeah,
exactly.
you're right. That girl definitely had something.
Oh,
Turkeys
yeah.
don't have any diseases.
I hated her specifically just because of how much she moved when she was trying to be sexy. Like, she never stopped doing like this motion
Yes.
the whole time. It was just like she was just like on a boat in like tumultuous seas. Like,
For our
was
listeners,
awful.
Cam is doing like a stand-up like worm, like the worm dance,
Body roll.
but just
A
like
body roll.
yeah, body
Yeah.
roll.
A body roll or a stand-up worm.
I like the stand-up worm better. It's more accurate.
I'm with stand-up worm.
Thank you.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about how the turkey cut off the father's face and wore it?
And nobody
Yes.
And
noticed.
tricked the kids?
Yes, it was the best. That part I had forgotten existed, and so when they open up the door and he's wearing the face, I actually was
The
like the only
mustache.
time I laughed this time. But yeah, that was great.
This is not a movie you watch sober, whether
No.
smoking or drinking. I think you need to be a little inebriated.
I was sober, and I do think I walked out and talked to Corey and said, I need to be high for this. And I live in Tennessee now, so
Oh, is it illegal
Yeah,
there?
they just passed it,
yeah,
didn't they?
no, it's all the way illegal here, even medical.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
That's a bunch of horseshit.
Wow.
yeah. It's
it's
a damn shame.
I was also totally sober watching this movie. It was
So was I, don't worry.
rough.
but I think if we were to revisit it, being very intoxicated would be ideal.
I agree.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a person who's never seen it before, so you
Yeah.
can introduce it to them and be, stoned out of your gourd or drunk as fuck.
Yes. And I also like that you said gourd. You stayed on brand with the Thanksgiving.
Bam, puns.
Yeah.
This movie was fucking full of puns.
It was
the
Thanksgiving and turkey puns.
also, but like the
Yeah.
Benet Ramsey fucking joke,
Joke.
they used it like 3
They
times.
say it 3 times.
Yes, three
3
fucking times. And I was like, okay, it's not funny anymore. It was only funny once. But they laughed at it so hard in the movie every time that they said
The
it.
second time, the second time they laughed at it, but not the first time.
No, they laughed
yeah,
at they
and
laughed
the
at it the same way the first time as they did the second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was reused footage from when she was supposed to say it, and they had shot it from 2 different angles. And
Yeah.
then they just reused it, and then they just cut in them laughing like 3 different times. It was so weird. That part was so strange. And I loved it. I loved every second of it.
It was a good joke. It's a good joke for the first time it was used.
When they're looking for the special book about how to kill the turkey, that book reading montage,
Yeah, yes.
It was 5 minutes.
it's like a 2-minute scene though.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a 2-minute scene, and then they're like, 5 minutes later, we found it. Also, I just like the logic. The library's closed. My dad has a bunch of books.
That would be me. That would
books.
100% be me. I'd be like, oh, guys, libraries, don't worry. My parents have a shit ton of books.
One of
On
them's
ancient
gotta
turkey
be
rituals.
about ancient turkey rituals.
But also, like, this is the same night that guy was, like, the dad sheriff was going to go to the ball with his daughter. But, like, it's
yeah.
late enough for the libraries to be closed, but it's not late enough for him to, like, just be getting ready to go to a ball. Like,
Is that why he was dressed as a turkey? I
yes,
couldn't
that
remember.
is why he was dressed
Okay.
as
Yes.
turkey.
And then he has a conversation with the turkey wearing like a mustache
Yes.
because he thinks he's a midget. I'm like, what is happening? I was like, I don't remember any of this.
No, I didn't remember any of that, and I've seen this too many times. I think I just
Oh my
constantly repress the memory of watching it, and then when I watch it again, I'm like, yeah, I've seen that, and then I just immediately get rid of it again.
So there's a series of movies that are kind of along the same line as Thanksgiving, and that's the Ginger Dead Man.
Oh, I know about the ginger.
Robbie says I need to
Okay.
watch this.
Yes.
I like the Ginger Dead Man because it's Gary Busey's voice
Yes.
as a gingerbread man who kills people, and I think that works better than this, which is kind of a weird thing to say now that I'm saying it out loud. But
Well, if the turkey had like a weirdo actor's voice, like if it was Nick
Yeah.
Nolte, like everyone would love it.
the Gary Busey lookalike,
Yeah. And like equally constantly drunk.
yeah. I mean, there's something about like inanimate objects, or a turkey in this case, talking with a normal voice. It's not as fun. I feel like Chucky had such a unique voice. The Ginger Dead Man has a very unique voice. I don't know. I feel like they missed out on that, and they could have found somebody on their crew of 10 to make a funny voice.
I don't know. I kind of like that the turkey was like had a voice that didn't really go with it. I feel like if it had a voice that like went with like was more like unique, like it would have like it just would have made the movie more
made it a better
boring.
movie?
Like I don't know.
What?
I don't. In my mind, like I like that it was just like you aren't expecting it to have like this like normal voice. I don't know.
Did I was gonna say a thing and I forgot it. So continue.
Also, the timeline for this movie, like it was supposed to be like the turkey comes back like every 505 years or something like that from the first Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure it hadn't been 505 years, had it? When was the first Thanksgiving?
Well, it said in the movie it was like 1600 something, but I didn't actually do the math.
Yeah, which still wouldn't be like 500.
Even if it was 1600 something, yeah.
It's still not 500 years later.
Well,
the turkey has his
I'm
time
not a wizard.
off.
I don't know.
Yeah. That movie took place in 2130. and it people still use like Nokia flip phones.
And libraries
they
were
did.
still a thing.
Yeah, and girls still wear low-rise bell bottoms with two tank
God.
tops.
And
This was only filmed in 2008. I don't remember that being the trend then.
Oh, so was.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
That was our
Everything
senior year of high
terrible.
school, senior year of high school.
Yeah, senior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated 07.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, the fashion wasn't great in this movie, but
No. Well,
I mean, did you expect it
the
to
jock
be?
had a puka shell necklace. Like, come on.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was a whole thing.
people still do that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Do you guys know what Visco girls are?
No. What is that? Tell me.
No.
That's the new trend. It started originally on like this, like, I don't know, like Instagram filter app.
Are those the
called
Hydro
Visco.
Flask people?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, my
and
niece
they wear the
was
puka
trying
shells.
to tell me about them.
Yeah.
What?
So
I
they
still
wear
don't know
puka
what
shells and like carry their Hydro Flask and like have a million scrunchies and like oversized t-shirts.
Yeah, she was telling me
And then
about the
they do this
scrunchies
really-
and the t-shirts.
Yeah, and then they just like have this
Ugh.
weird slang where they just make sounds at each other. Like they'll be like, yeah, and I don't get it. and
What the
And
fuck? It's
they'll
like
also
Nicki Minaj bullshit.
yeah, and
Or
then
not
they'll
Nicki
also
Minaj.
say they'll say like and I oop over and over, and I still don't know what that means. And I've tried to do extensive research, and I can't figure it out.
It reminded me not of Nicki Minaj. Sorry, I meant Cardi B.
Yep.
Like all the fucking weird noises that she makes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
I'm not even going to attempt
wait,
it.
how did we get onto this? I'm very confused now.
Puka shells.
Puka shells.
Puka shells. That's how we started
Yeah.
this. So Lauren, favorite scene in the movie?
Oh no. I don't know.
There's so many.
Yeah, I feel like I think my favorite part of this movie was like the out of the fucking nowhere friendship montage that happened after
Yes.
the guy
Yeah.
after like the fat hillbilly got killed, and like the nerd
Yeah.
is just like, you were my best friend, and like there's a whole
The
song
song
that
they're
goes
singing.
along with it. I think there was some undertones of them being like gay together, like that was
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
But they exchanged maybe 10 words throughout the whole movie up until
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, and then they were like best friends forever.
My best friends
Yes.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that was my favorite scene.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
A sponsor of this episode is adamandeve.com. Are you like my lesbian podcast partner Lauren and stuck in a boring, sexless relationship?
Wait, what?
Luckily, there's a website for you.
I'm boring?
Adam and Eve is an online store where you get all the bedroom essentials to help spice up your relationship.
Can we get back to this sexless thing?
With an assortment of adult toys, lingerie, and sexy accessories, Adam and Eve has got you covered in the bedroom, or in the kitchen, or in the public library bathroom, basically anywhere you can have sex.
The library?
And even if you're not in a relationship, Adam and Eve has got your lonely ass covered as well. With an assortment of lubes, toys, and other pleasurable items, adamandeve.com will make you feel like you're not jerking off alone in your apartment ever again. So remember, If you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, pan-fried, or even deep-fried, Adam and Eve has got you covered in the bedroom. So head over to adamandeve.com and use our promo code BREW4U and get 50% off almost any item in store. That's promo code BREW4U, the number 4, at checkout and get 50% off almost any item. And when you do, you also get 10 free gifts courtesy of adamandeve.com, including 6 spicy movies and a 3-piece bonus kit. It's like a 3-piece chicken bucket, but, better. Now get out there and do some consensual the kind where you stick your in their then you get the Thousand Island dressing, you rub it all over your and you just jam it in there. You know what I'm saying?
Salad dressing?
adamandeve.com for all your needs. Cheers. How about you, Cam?
Oh, man. So what's really weird is that I had a memory that I thought was in this movie and that it's not. And it was a close-up shot of the turkey's butthole with him shooting poop out of it.
That might be the second one.
It might be the second one. So that's my favorite one of the second one. But I think it's got to be 100% just him wearing that skin mask and having just this like super nonchalant conversation with like the woman
daughter.
Who's the daughter. His daughter who's like, yeah, you're my dad still. That part was great. Also, I really loved at the very end once they like throw him into the fire and his like chicken leg pops off. It's like not even a turkey leg, and she like takes a bite of the chicken.
Yes.
And she does it like really bad, like 4 times. Speaking of buttholes,
Look at that cat butt.
yeah, there's some cat butt going on here. Yeah, she takes like the bad bites of the chicken, and then at the Thanksgiving dinner where he's supposed to be, he still has both his legs on the chicken.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Or on the turkey. Yeah, dumb. That's the worst part of that movie.
Because they've been so reliable up until that point, just making sense. And,
it was so continuous up until that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Continuity was so important in this film.
Yeah.
What about you, Robbie? What was your favorite scene?
I'd have to say, when he's having sex with the girl and he says, "You got stuffed." I think it's more of the line that accompanied it more than anything. But other than that, the friendship montage with the song, their own homemade song, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh yeah, so good.
Do you
was I the only one doing other things while watching this?
No.
I tried really hard to not look at my phone and watch the whole thing, and that hour felt like 4. So
it was long.
I 100% agree.
I did watch the whole thing without looking at any other media.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
It was brutal, but I'll do anything for you guys.
That's true.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some reviews or ratings, I should say.
Oh, here we go.
There's not a lot. Metacritic doesn't even recognize it as a movie, which is weird. They recognize the second movie, but not the first one.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Let's see. IMDb has it at 4.2 out of 10.
Well, that's high.
That's not a bad rating for this
Isn't
movie.
that higher than Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, but Return of the Killer Tomatoes is like actually good though.
I know. That's what pisses me off.
yeah.
That this has a 4.2.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes only has an audience score.
Okay. No critic score.
No critic score, which I've never seen before in a movie.
No, I don't think I have either.
Wow.
The audience score. Can you guys guess the audience score?
I'll say.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say 36.
I'm gonna say 23.
It is 43%.
Wow.
People like this movie way more than I thought.
Yeah.
I feel like
also,
if you like this movie, like you like that kind
it's completely on par with that 4.2 out of 10 then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to that, but it says it's only like 2 critic reviews away from actually having a critic score.
Oh, dang.
So
Come
I
on,
don't know
critics,
how we become
get on
critics
it.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
I could probably do that. I could probably, now that I'm a professor, say that I'm a critic.
Yeah, you're a film professor. Come on, Cam.
Right? I probably can. I could do that. Let's try that.
Do it.
And can I send you reviews to submit as you, but even though they're me?
For sure. That's not plagiarism.
It's my consent. It's not plagiarism, right?
Fair.
Yeah, what do you guys rate this movie out of 5? We do out of 5 here.
Okay. I give it 1 hand turkey out of 5.
I like the rating style. Okay.
Yeah, I like that rating style.
Yeah, but for real, I'd give this movie like a 2. I give it a 2.
And your reasoning?
It was because
That's obvious.
Yeah, it exists, so that gives it like at least a 1 because like someone made a thing, and cool, way to go, you made a thing.
Yeah.
The second one comes from I laughed twice, and somehow they've swindled me into watching this movie 3 times. None of it has to do with the content of the film. It's just how it impacted my life.
That's it. 2 stars.
Yeah.
Or 2 hand turkeys, excuse me.
Yeah.
Lauren?
I actually am gonna rate it the same.
Okay.
For basically the same reasons. I've only watched it once, but I watched the whole thing. And I didn't turn it off.
That's a review. You got to write that on the website. I watched the whole thing. And like everybody would be like, I understand.
It had some good one-liners. That's
Yeah.
It's some good bad one-liners.
It had some good bad one-liners, yeah. And I really enjoy the fact that like the turkey's like tagline, like gobble gobble motherfucker.
Yes.
That was like came into like reality before they even had a plot for the movie. So they like built the movie on that. I wouldn't the only reason I would recommend this movie is to just bring everyone else down with me.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, that's yes.
That's a good reason to make everybody suffer. I also gave it 2 out of 5 hand turkeys.
Yeah, look at us.
It could be better, obviously, but for $3,500 budget and being shot in 11 days, I mean,
right.
Good for them. I mean, they, like Cam said, they made something. Also, get another voice for the turkey. I think it would have been better. I don't know if it's the same guy in the next movie. I didn't look that far.
I didn't look either. I'm just gonna say it is. Yeah, it is.
I'm sure it is. He's cheap, but they crowdfunded the second movie.
Yeah, they crowdfunded it for like $100,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
they had made a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Well, they didn't make any money. Let's be honest.
Well,
they got a lot of money.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, now with how many times people are streaming this, like they probably get like these nice little residual checks. Like
it's possible.
I like.
Can you imagine like getting even for $7? Like you'd be like sick.
Yeah.
Like best 11 days of my life for this $7.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming a cult classic, but not. I don't know. It's kind of an insult to cult classics to call this a cult classic, but
yeah,
you get what I'm saying though. It's slowly building a following.
Yeah, it's like a cult that no one wants to be a part of.
100%. I said I would have given this 3 stars, but they kept saying Indian instead of Native American throughout the whole movie, and I was like,
yeah.
I know it's 2008, but come on,
guys.
Yeah, even though it still was 2008, like we knew better then.
I just like this because you know that everyone who acted in it just had like a really good time doing it together.
Oh yeah,
like you could just feel it when you watch it. They're just like friends from college or whatever that like their other like friend was like, hey, let's make this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And
well, if you think about everybody who was on the film or with the film, they could have each pitched in $100 and made the movie.
Oh,
for
probably.
Fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would have done that regardless of how it turned out.
And who?
For sure.
But like, how'd they get the hookup with that porn star? Like, how'd they get her in there?
They're porn stars, Lord.
Do you know how to get a hold of a porn star to be in a movie, Robbie? I don't know how to get a hold of a porn star to be in a movie.
There's a little help button at the bottom of the Pornhub page, and you just click it, and then it just brings you to whoever you want.
It would probably take like 14 minutes to figure out how to do it.
Yes. And like $150 if they're close by.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a local porn store or a local porn star.
Yeah. I think all you would have to do is like find a softcore porn agency, right, where they book everybody and be like, all right, who's your lowest level talent? I have $150. And they'll be like, it'll be Rachel Sparks with like 4 X's. And then you're like, all right, cool.
I think that this one
How many
was
C-section
Wanda
scars
Lust.
does she have?
Wanda Lust is the porn
Oh, okay.
star.
Wanda Lust.
Wanda Lust. Is that that's her real name?
I'm pretty sure that's what.
Not her real name, but
yes, that's her real God-given name.
You know what I mean?
That's her real fake name. Her real.
It's her Christian name.
I figured out my drag name this week, by the way.
Oh, what is it?
Regal Artichoke.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I heard it on Food Network, and I'm like, that's my drag name.
Regal Artichoke. I like the Regal. I think that fits you.
Regal
Yeah.
artichoke. Where the fuck was I? Lauren, did you have any fun facts?
I was just trying to find them, but my phone is gayer than I am, so it's not working right now. Oh, so that scene with the titty scene, the first scene in this movie was shot without a permit in a public park.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yep. So I hope that there were no
And
children
committed a
around.
I support it. I support that, actually. That makes,
like
you know,
in the
that
middle of
might,
the woods.
I'll move that up to 2.5 hand turkeys.
For the crime they committed.
Yeah, they committed a crime on set and got away with it. Like, way to go.
Also, no one wanted to distribute this film at first, so the filmmakers sold the DVD on Amazon themselves, and it took a year to sell 1,000 copies.
Yeah, that
Sick.
sounds about right.
Yeah. Can you imagine being like the third person? Like, obviously they probably like had family members or whatever buy it to support them. But
Yeah.
like being like the first person that had no idea what the hell this was. And you're like, oh, Thanksgiving movies. You're like, what's Thanksgiving? I'm going to get this DVD sent to my house. Like, I want to know what went through that person's head.
It's
I
the
need
same
to
guy
know.
that owns the Ginger Dead series.
You know that it was just
Oh,
the
isn't it?
actors buying copies of their own movie to then give away to people. Like, that's
no,
definitely
no.
what happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would do it too. I don't blame him.
I would also do that. Oh, this is a really fun fact. So the guy who plays Darren, who's the nerdy kid, he is the drummer of a band called Overrated. And in the Jeep, when they're on their way home, you hear that band playing. So I think it's like the metal band. Like when
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't remember the song.
The
Yeah.
song that didn't fit in at all for the entire movie.
Yes, you're like, why is this group of people listening to
Yeah.
this heavy metal music? Well, it's because that kid is the drummer in real life.
Because
in
it
that
was
band.
free. It was free. It was basically
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That's kind of rad, actually.
The creators also copyrighted the title Death Turkey as a potential title for
For
this.
overseas.
Yes.
Because they weren't sure if they celebrated Thanksgiving overseas. Obviously not, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. You don't really celebrate Thanksgiving
Yeah.
anywhere but here.
Yeah.
And the auditions were held in the director's garage.
That
Of course they
also
were.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
Ugh.
filmed in Ohio. We don't have any listeners in Ohio, so fuck Ohio, but
No, yeah, fuck Ohio.
I've never been to Ohio, nor do I want to.
Speaking of cheap movies, I recently saw a clip of Jordan from WreckMyPodcast. Was it a movie or a short?
It's a short film. He's been in 2 short films.
It was the funniest thing, but not in like the funny like haha. It was
Yeah.
like cringy funny.
Yeah, him in like the
Love it.
lederhosen with the mustache.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's like one of my favorite things. And Joe from WreckMyPodcast like will always put that on the TV when Jordan shows up to someone's house because like he never leaves the house. He's like always hanging out with his wife only. Like he never leaves except to podcast or to like just spend time with his spouse. And so he finally came over to hang out one night, and Joe in the background just like airplayed the 2 movies that
Yes.
Jordan was in like 2 times in a row, and it was amazing.
poor
I
Jordan.
replay that. You know that video where he's singing with his band.
Mm-hmm.
I play that every once in a while just to get a laugh.
Joe's in that band too.
I know. Yeah,
That's
but he's not
amazing.
singing Yellow Card
No.
lyrics or whatever. the hell.
No, screaming it like just total like deep guttural screams.
It is the best. Before we go, you guys want to rate your beers?
Yeah.
You go first, Cam.
Okay, cool. Once again, I am drinking the Siren Blonde Ale from Crosstown Brewing Company in Memphis, Tennessee. Are we doing hand turkeys or are we doing
Yeah, let's do
Five hand turkeys.
Okay, I'll give this 4 hand turkeys. I'll give this a solid 4 hand turkeys. The initial taste is really good, and then it gets a little too bitter for me before the honey hits, and so I wish it was more of a smooth transition. But other than that, it's damn good. I'm gonna have a second one as soon as we hang up.
Lauren?
I am drinking Trade Secrets from Pocock Brewing and RT Rogers Brewing. The peach tangerine tart smoothie, 3%. I would give this 2 hand turkeys. 2
Gobble,
hand
gobble.
jerkys. Gobble,
Nice.
gobble. It got better as I drank it, so I don't hate it anymore. But I wouldn't drink it
And
again.
I will say that specific one, or the whole Trade Secret series, because they have like 6 different flavors now of that kind. It's incomparable when it's fresh pulled from the tap.
Oh,
when
I'm
it's
sure.
fresh from the tap, it is the best like tart I've ever had. But in the can, it's just kind of fine.
And Robbie had it for a while too.
Well, the other one Jordan sent me was the blueberry key lime, I believe.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that one.
That one is dank.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Yeah.
This would not have been, if of all the flavors, I would not have picked a peach tangerine. I would have.
That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, orange is not like one of my favorite, like a go-to flavor for me. So, what about you, Robbie?
I drank Thanksgiving 2020 from Mayflower Brewing. It is an English ale coming in at 6.7%. It's much better than I thought it would be. So I'm very happy and surprised by that. I still wouldn't buy it again. I don't think it's worth the money. 1.75. Like, it's fine. I could drink it, but it's not that great.
I feel like Mayflower beers are either I love it and I would drink this all the time, or like I can drink this one and not ever drink it again.
I mean, their 400 is one of my favorite beers ever.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's
so
what I
good.
mean. Like, they either make
Yeah.
one that like you just want to drink all the time, or it's like, okay, I've had this one and I don't really want it again. Yeah.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this episode. You can find the Brew Interviews on our Instagram account at The Brew Interviews, or on Twitter at The Brew Interviews. You can also send us an email at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com, or on Facebook under The Brew Interviews. And if you feel so inclined, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Brew Interviews and become part of the Brew Interviews family, just like these people: Hillary, Mitch, Steph, Karen, Danny, Jess, and the WreckMyPodcast crew. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for supporting the show. Also, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I would also like to thank our sponsors, adamandeve.com, and be sure to use our promo code BREW4U. That's BREW4U, the number 4, and get 50% off almost any one item. And when you do, you also get 10 free special gifts. I'd also like to thank Cam for coming on the show again. We always have a good time.
Yeah, man, of course.
Cam, where can they find you and your podcast?
You can listen to Wreck My Podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts.
Woo!
You can come check out what we do. We have like a cool couple shows that we do, and if you like pop culture and if you like a bunch of white dudes talking about stuff, come on down.
Joe's white?
No, Joe's not white. He's just from
Zach's
Santa
white.
Clarita, so he's white. He's white.
For the Brew Interviews, I'm Robbie.
And I'm Lauren. Cam.
I'm Cam.
Gobble gobble, motherfuckers.
This has been The Brew Interviews, a podcast about craft beers coast to coast with Lauren and Robbie.
It was actually nip, and then it was tit, and then it was titties.
I need to be high for this.